Welcome to Machine Universe. Logging has never been simple work. It takes experience, powerful equipment, and a good understanding of the forest itself. This is the world behind the timber industry.
So we just put this in there. Went ahead and box cut him with the snipe.
Honestly, that undercut looked a bit tricky. Well, jacking a tree like this saves a ton of wedge pounding. Some folks prefer more saw and less jack, but when a big tree is stubborn, having 45 tons of force is a total game changer. My hands get sweaty just looking at that footing. I can't imagine trying to maintain a steady hinge cut while standing on loose shale hundreds of feet up.
Alright, you can kind of like see through this. My face cut's over there. Here's what we got.
This experienced operator is focusing on the most dangerous cedars along the creek fire site. He definitely knows his way around a saw.
Gabby?
Manage rigging setups. It's 35-to-1, 3 attachments to a rigging sling in a choker, a big...
He's showing us a master class in rigging today. By using multiple snatch blocks and a choker sling around that anchor tree, he's turned a tiny 18-horsepower tractor into a stump-pulling beast with a 35-to-1 advantage.
Stump is coming right out.
He ran into a rigging mishap and had to stop to reset everything, which just shows how much tension is actually running through those lines. Watching the operator work through these dead stands is interesting. They are breaking the logs down into roughly 11-foot sections right on the spot. It looks like a salvage operation to clear out timber affected by drought or beetles before it loses all its value. Luck is a skill. This guy just leveled up to expert. This is the reality of autumn logging when the ground turns into a mess. Sometimes you can't just wait for it to dry out, so you have to push the equipment to the edge to get the job done. That bar looks a bit short for a 200-year-old oak. Maybe a 36-inch would have saved them some time on those deep root flares. They spent a while on the box cuts, likely trying to keep that high-value veneer log from splitting or barber chairing once the weight shifted.
Die beiden Waldarbeiter haben am mächtigen
We're stepping back in time to see how a mill shaft was born.
das für die
This ancient
Mühlenwelle
oak
gebraucht
was
wird.
handpicked for its strength. We can see the struggle as that old devil's wagon gives way under the weight. It's a reminder of how tough manual labor used to be. Look how they secure the chains for the downhill trek. It's a
Die 65
fascinating look
bis 70
at traditional
Zentimeter dicke
engineering
Eiche
and the
benutzt
raw
werden soll.
strength of the past.
Mit dem schweren Ende nach vorn wird der Stamm
Man, that bug knot really does the job, doesn't it? It's just chewing through those big old stumps like they're nothing. Some might want it deeper in the soil, but hey, for a quick clearing, it's a pretty solid choice. I appreciate the hard work these crews put in. Dealing with burning danger trees is next level. Imagine if a single joint snapped. That would be a very bad day for everyone involved. Locals had an arborist take this dying giant down, and now it's being repurposed into wide slabs. I've heard this is the biggest log they've ever sourced around here, and the WM1000 seems to be handling it just fine. Ever tried cutting eucalyptus? It's notoriously tough on chainsaws. You can almost hear the engine straining against that hard, dense wood grain. everyone loves the scissor wheel method since brittle wood can cause a mess. But you can't deny the results here. That grand fir swung exactly where it was supposed to. Some folks would probably go with a Dutchman face, right?
Now you can't tell me that don't work.
That looked like a classic barber chair situation. Really scary how fast they can split. You're looking at the Hypro 755HB in action, a wheel-mounted processor that's a staple for Swedish loggers. It's equipped with an FG45 felling grapple here, which is an upgrade over the standard version for better grip and precision during the initial cut. This Comtech Axter 8012 unit has 800 horsepower, and it clearly shows while shredding those heavy poplar trunks. The wood comes out in consistent 2 to 4 inch pieces. It's a very tidy operation for such a massive machine. Stack several logs across the frame, then run the chainsaw through the bundle. One cut produces a pile of stove-length pieces. Not a new idea, but plenty of people still use it around rural parts of Europe.
Whoa! Whoa, Dick! Whoa!
You watch them work and realize how much smarter they are than people give them credit for. Look at that line staying tight while they navigate the grass. Hard to find a team that's this dialed in nowadays. got a system going that just works. One crane clears the shore while the other stacks the barge. Professional crew, no doubt about it. Looks like a pretty decent day for it, actually. Notice the new safety brake on the counter cutter. It's a lifesaver when a piece of metal or a rock accidentally gets in there. Instead of a total breakdown, it just minimizes the damage. Smart move for a machine weighing nearly 77,000 lbs. Better to replace a small part than the whole drum. Heavy gear like this needs that extra layer of protection. I've noticed how much cleaner these power line clearings look with a DAH 125D. Instead of hauling everything away, it mulches the organic matter right back into the soil to hold moisture. It's a smart way to keep the land healthy while doing the job. North Florida plantations tend to have that loose, sandy soil. Sawheads can hate that stuff. A Tiger Cat 2000 shear just pinches and cuts instead of spinning a big blade through it. Different approach, same trees on the ground. I wouldn't trade places with that climber for any money. 5.5 hours of piecing down just so golfers don't have an easier hole? That's dedication. It saved the surrounding 160 feet firs, but I bet his chainsaw felt 10 times heavier by the end. Beautiful work, technically speaking. The cleanup, however, is going to be brutal. Here's the SSG2524 in action. This grinder is built to handle residential and commercial clearing, leveraging the reliable hydraulic output from the SVL 753 to maintain productivity across different wood densities. We're looking at a classic workaround for bad roads. Sometimes the right side is just too soft or broken up, forcing the driver to hug the ditch. It's impressive to see an 87 Pete still jamming gears and hauling heavy timber alongside modern rigs without breaking a sweat. Look at how it handles those 68-foot logs. Processing massive hardwood up to 27 inches thick is no joke for the TLA-18 cut wheel. Someone pointed out, letting split wood just drop off the conveyor seems inefficient. And honestly, hooking up a mesh bag on a pallet there makes a lot of sense. Physics really does the heavy lifting if you let it. It takes a special kind of person to do this daily. Cutting the trunk while it's suspended in the air explains all those splinters people are noticing. The Cat 550 has serious hydraulic power, but chopping off those 3-foot bottom sections leaves so much usable timber behind. Guess heavy industrial operations simply don't have the downtime to process perfect firewood. Why stress the engine so hard? Using the winch to clear that corner would have been much easier on the transmission. This LKT81 turbo has plenty of torque, around 80 or 100 horses, but you can still feel the machine struggling against that incline. Reminds me of a guillotine for logs. It's a clever DIY, just stay safe out there, okay? Finally swapped Blue Thunder for the Red Hulk to drag this oak. Sometimes you just need that extra muscle for a heavy lay. Grabbing stumps with a 20-ton excavator looks efficient, but you wonder if all that diesel is worth the energy you get back. Grabbing stumps with a 20-ton excavator looks efficient, but you wonder if all that diesel is worth the energy you get back. Did we all just get pranked by a tree? Seriously? This isn't just a harvester, it's a mountain goat with a crane. Most rigs would need a cable assist on this terrain, but the Conrad relies on its own weight distribution to stay glued to the dirt. Impressive! Every video is a chance to learn something new. If you notice something interesting or have experience with this kind of work, let us know below.